Welcome back to the It Girl Playbook, and welcome back to our It Girl Lessons from It Girl series, where we explore the allure of some of our favorite iconic It Girls and see what it is that makes everyone so obsessed with them. By better understanding what makes them so magnetic, we can be inspired to adopt some of their most attractive qualities and values into our lives so that we can level up as well. In today's episode, we will be learning from the Hailey Bieber and explore the art of being unbothered. If you're unfamiliar, she grew up as Hailey Baldwin, a model who later married Justin Bieber and became known as Hailey Bieber, Justin's wife, and the quote-unquote other woman who is constantly compared to his ex, Selena Gomez. From fan-fueled rumors and conspiracy theories, all the way to being labeled as a nepo baby, she has been the center of several narratives that she never really asked for. And yet, despite the endless noise, Hailey continues to set trends, has since launched Rode, and is now covering Vogue. In a world that seems to want her to lose so badly, she just keeps on winning. She has mastered the art of being unbothered, and this is how you can as well. Let them talk. When people already have something to say about you, beat them to it and say it better. Say it funnier, say it first. This actually reminds me of when Trisha Paytas said that nobody can ever cancel me because I cancel myself first. And as chaotic and as controversial she can be sometimes, what Trisha says is quite true. When you own your narrative, even if it's messy or even if it's a joke, you take away the power that other people have to use it against you. And this is exactly what Hailey Bieber did in her recent What's in My Bag video. She didn't directly respond to the endless rumors about her stalking Justin, being obsessed with Selena, and having multiple burner accounts. But we all knew what she was referencing to when she pulled out what felt like 85 phones from her bag and said that they were for stalking and creating fake accounts. She made it funny, she made it hers, and completely disarmed the narrative that people were trying to pin on her. Confidence isn't about clearing your name, it's about not needing to. Hailey even mentioned that early on in the interview, she used to try so hard to prove herself, but eventually realized that people will believe whatever they want, so why bother anymore? Paris Hilton is a great example of someone who did this as well. The world labeled her as the rich, clueless heiress, and instead of fighting it, she leaned into it. She played into the character and built an entire brand on it. People were laughing at her, and she was laughing her way to the bank because she was able to remain unbothered by what people were trying to use against her. And that's how you stay 10 steps ahead. If people are going to talk anyways, give them a version that works in your favor. Being unbothered, it doesn't mean that you never feel anything, because yes, you can feel angry, you can feel disappointed. It just means that you choose what's worth your emotional investment, because not everything deserves a reaction, because sometimes your peace is more valuable than your pride. But if you're not reacting to everything, how do you respond? And that leads us to our second lesson. Satire is a power move. By definition, satire is the use of humor, irony, or exaggeration to make a point or poke fun at something, usually to expose its flaws or criticize it. Humor disarms people, and it allows your point to land in a way that doesn't attack a belief, because people hate to admit that they are wrong. And so when you use satire, like how Hailey uses exaggeration to address rumors, it helps people understand how ridiculous certain rumors sound. Going back to the What's in My Bag video example, Hailey continues to pull out her perfume labeled Eau de Nepo and goes on to describe the smell as very vanilla and how it really does all the work for you without having to do anything. Hilarious. Or when she pulled out a bottle and introduced it as a love potion that her dad got her from a witch in the mountains to make a certain Canadian pop star fall in love with her. Hearing her say it out loud makes the rumors sound so unreal and just almost ridiculous. She leaned into all the gossip and turned it into a comedy bit. She made the rumors ridiculous, and by laughing at them, she took all the heat out of them. When you're the punchline on purpose, you stay in control because you get to dictate which direction you want to take it. And when you allow yourself to be the center of the joke and you're showing how you're not taking yourself too seriously, it makes you so magnetic. Yes, confidence is charming, but playful confidence is irresistible. And in this one video, it made Hailey so incredibly charming. It genuinely didn't feel like she was trying to prove something. It just felt like she was having fun, and in doing so, she reminded people why she's so likable. The Wizard Liz did this as well. When she was gaining popularity, there were, of course, a lot of people who loved her and appreciated the advice that she shares, but there were also people who loved to hate her and called her a narcissist. So how did she respond? She proudly wore it on a t-shirt and did a whole photo shoot with it, turning criticism into content. Absolutely genius. The world will try to embarrass you, but if you laugh first, you've already won. That's honestly the ultimate power move, to laugh louder than the hate whispers. The last point I want to highlight is the seduction of mystery. Even though she is a public celebrity and a whole CEO, Hailey keeps her private life private. Possibly it's because of her unbothered charm, where she doesn't feel the need to overshare to stay relevant. There's definitely value and power in that because you get to keep some things to yourself. It is a form of protection, as people cannot ruin what they don't have access to, and it also creates room for people to wonder. And I think it is because she doesn't feed into the drama and really fully addresses the rumors that people wanted answers to, is the reason why people end up making up rumors and creating stories to answer the curiosity themselves. Even myself, if I'm texting a friend and they take a while to answer and I have nothing better to do, I will begin to start jumping to conclusions. It's human nature. We're wired to hate uncertainty, which is why our brain tries to reduce that discomfort of not knowing by creating a story, even if it's not entirely true. So when people like Hailey stays quiet or doesn't explain herself, it drives people crazy. The silent feels like a mystery that needs solving. And this is why I think this recent flip that Hailey did, whether it's strategic or because she was truly fed up with all the forced hate that was thrown on her and it being able to affect her family and her recent child, it really gave her her power back. She didn't over explain. She references the rumor just enough to take control of the narrative and to still keep everyone guessing. She is still mysterious and she still seems quite unbothered, but it doesn't feel like avoidance. This reminds me a while ago of Ariana Grande, who did the same exact thing when people were calling her obnoxious and a quote-unquote diva. Instead of defending herself or avoiding these claims, she jumps in on the joke. On James Corden's Carpool Karaoke, she literally had him carry her into Starbucks and introduce herself like, "Hi, I'm Ariana Grande and I demand to be carried." And since then, everyone kind of just forgot about it. When you remain unbothered, keep private, and try to avoid drama, there will still be people who love to have something to say. And when you give them nothing to say because you rather stay private, you're not really bothered by having to be in the spotlight all the time, they will then begin to create stories. But what we learned from Ariana, Liz, Paris, and now Hailey is that sometimes instead of denying the rumors and instead of putting in all this effort to prove a point that people don't want to believe, it not only is more productive, but also funnier and kind of iconic to simply just go along with a joke and exaggerate it on purpose. The people who were talking, and to the extremes, the haters, they will lose interest because the common enemy that they were painting as a villain starts laughing with them. There's no longer tension and there's no more emotional payoff. They have nothing to use against you because you could care less. And while people were hating on Hailey, and these haters were getting all the attention because they had the theories and the stories, which provide a conclusion to curiosity that people may have had, but we can see how Hailey ultimately had the last laugh, and quite honestly, now I'm intrigued as to how she is going to use this power that she has now. She has the world watching now. At the end of the day, you can scream and shout and give all the evidence that the sky is blue, but there will still be some people that will be convinced that the sky is green. And so Hailey shows us that the real power move isn't proving people wrong. It's refusing to be shaken in the first place. Whether it's staying private, laughing and playing along to the rumors, or flipping the script with your own story dripped in satire, the art of being unbothered is about owning the narrative without chasing validation. Hailey might not say much, but what she does say and how she carries herself, it really does speak volumes. I hope that this episode encourages you to stay unbothered, because in a world with so much noise, being able to go about your life and continue to win through it holds so much value. That's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you in the next one, and in the meantime, as always, stay hot. Bye!